All right, so we're going to take a look at average rate of change, AROC for short. So average rate of change is very similar to slope. The only difference is that you no longer have a straight line. So if you look at your formula sheet, you're going to see it has it in the actual formula sheet. It says average rate of change is the value in the it's the change in the y value divided by the change in the x value for two distinct points on the graph. And that's just a fancy way of saying, look right here, slope formula is the change in the y value, so y2 minus y1, how y is changing, divided by the change in the x value, change in x value. And the only difference between the slope and average rate of change, it's for two distinct points on the graph because it's not a constant rate of change. So that's the only difference. All right, so we're going to start off with the slope formula. So this is really how you find average rate of change. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that straight into a calculator. Now, you see you have to do something minus something, all divided by something minus something else. And every time I say something, we're just going to put parentheses just so that we can make sure that we have the correct things inside the parentheses. So we're going to go ahead and first copy the question down just so that we have it in our notes. So we're going to do, this is from a table. Okay, so they're going to be three questions. This is the first one from a table. So your x values and your f of x or your y values. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. And this is 4, 8, 16, and 32. Okay, so I've copied my values down. So again, my slope is the change in the y divided by the change in the x. So we're going to write the slope formula as well. So we're going to say y2, or actually we're going to say AROC equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so now we have our formula. All we're going to do now is put things inside our formula. So AROC equals we're going to say y2, we're going to leave it blank, minus y1, we're going to leave that blank, all over x2, we're going to leave that blank, minus sorry, not x1, but we're going to leave that blank because it's a number. All right, so now we just need to get this information in order to put it in our calculator. So I'm going to go ahead to go to the calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and type in this blank. So be careful when you type this in, because if I do this, don't do it just yet, do this. See, if I do divide after I do the two parentheses, it only divides over here. So the key thing to do is do divide as soon as you start. Okay, so you're going to go divide. That way you already have this already here, and now you're doing parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. So again, that is very different from this. Divided by parentheses. That does not look the same. Even here, if I do it this way, this is not the same. The difference is, pay close attention, this divide is over the whole thing, not single. So please be very careful when you first type this in. All right, after you type it in, it's a matter of just putting the numbers in. So find the average rate of change. And the question was, and I didn't finish copying down the question, it is from when x is 1 and 3. So we're going to actually write that down. So find the average rate of change when x is between 1 and 3. Okay, so they do have to give you the values in order for you to pull out the information. So here's your x values here. So they're telling you where your x is, you're going to put these in. So what is x2 and x1? So this is the first one, and this is the second one. So you're going to put the second one first. So you're going to put the 3 first, and then the 1. Okay, so again, I'm going to label that for you. So this is x1, this is x2. You're going to put them in the formula. So on the bottom left is x2, you're going to put x2, whatever x2 is. So 3 and then 1. All right, then all you're going to do now is match it. So go look at the table where x2 is equal to 3. What is y? 32. So what you're going to do is you're going to match 3 with y being 32, because if you look at your formula, x2 goes with y2. Okay, then you're going to go match what is y when x is 1. So I'm going to go to 1, and I see that when x is 1, y is 8. So you're going to go ahead and match that as well. So you're going to say when x is 1, y is 8. Why? Because you are matching x1 and y1. All right, and as soon as you do that, you're just going to put that in the calculator. So we're going to type that in. So it's 32 here, then 8 right here, then 3 right here, then 1 right here. All right, so that answer, the average rate of change over this interval, is equal to 12. And that's all that you're doing.